Hello viewers, I'm your host Uzma Jafri with another episode of South Asia Focus. Let's begin the show. While a lot has developed around and post Galwan face-off, the revelation of Chinese duplicity and its repeated lies on Galwan Valley have established one fact, that its intentions are deep and diabolic in nature. Analysts across think tanks of various countries and civil society believe that Chinese actions have emerged out of its inherent insecurities against any nation that has the potential to challenge it at any front. Chinese ambitions of securing hegemony over trade across the globe have suffered an apparent obstruction due to strengthening Indian soft power and forging of alliances that are fundamentally against the Chinese model of gaining more economic, strategic and military control.
Fresh satellite imagery provided by US space technology company Mexer Technologies has exposed Chinese claims and lies on Galwan Valley. People's Liberation Army, which has expressed reservations over Indian construction in its sovereign territory and unethically attacked its army personnel for the same, has deployed heavy military and construction machinery along the border. There are camps and earth-moving equipments which are in immediate vicinity of the patrolling point, where the fist fight between two sides had broken out on 15th June. Experts across the forum say that lies and deceit are a fundamental part of the pattern emerging from Beijing in its dealings with other countries. The Communist China, they say, is insecure about new alliances with different and inclusive ideologies shaping up across the globe. Chinese belligerence against India at LAC is totally related to that. Experts say India should double down on its strategy to ensure its better bilateral and multilateral relations.
The Quad is something that China is worried and concerned about, especially because now we are talking about Quad Plus, which includes ASEAN, and even many of the European countries like France and and Germany are playing a bigger role. So you may have more democracies which have military and maritime presence in the region. Second, India has been speaking about including Australia in the Malabar military exercises. In addition to Japan. So it would be a kind of a Quad military exercise, even if not under Quad, and that would send a message to Beijing. Finally, India as part of the Indian Ocean, Indo-Pacific and Quad strategies, maybe India could also finally boost its Andaman Nicobar command, because that lies straight on the Malacca Straits, and that will have an impact on how China views Indo-Pacific. So I think there's a lot India can do.
Indian diplomacy in last few years has also proven to be a cause of concern for Chinese, as New Delhi has found more allies than China in recent history. While China's relations with most of the countries are based on unilateral control of the ties, India has moved ahead with equal share of both responsibilities and dividends.
In a COVID-19 world, which we're currently in, where Chinese actions are increasingly being called out in all parts of the world, India will win more friends and sympathy than will Beijing if these actions are called out. Finally, it's heartening that India is invited to attend the G7 summit later this year by President Trump. My suggestion is India should make a show of being a natural maritime and continental counterpoint to the values and the policies of China in the region.
China was also spooked by Indian political decisions in Kashmir where it bifurcated the state into two union territories. Indian Home Minister had reiterated New Delhi's commitment of relentless endeavours towards regaining the territory it has lost to Pakistan and China since independence. China had even toed the Pakistani line of raking up Kashmir issue in the United Nations. China fears if India manages to get back its land from Pakistan, then its flagship China-Pakistan economic corridor will die a sudden death.